What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are not reacting to anything in particular. We are going to be assessing, more than anything, the Winter 2021 season because, well, we're about a week away. As I record this, it is Tuesday afternoon, which is a rare time for me to be recording, but things are weird, don't question it. So, basically a week from when I'm recording this, the first reaction should be going up, so we're very rapidly approaching that, and Fall 2020 has already finished, with Noblesse being the final show to react to on Thursday, and then that's it, the full season's over. So it's now time that we actually put some time in and looked ahead. So I have my notebook full of shows here. I have all of them up on AnyList here. They're all plugged in, ready to watch. They're all in their schedule with when they're going to come out. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what the season has. We've got quite a few sequels coming up that I plan to watch. I think it was a total of 7 sequels, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be very interesting. It's a bit of a shame because you guys won't see my Season 1 reactions to most of them since I've already watched them. I'm not going to rewatch them because I don't think that's a very valid reaction. So you will be jumping in midway with me if you choose to do so, but it's the best I can do. And I still want to watch the shows and make content of them, so that's why I choose to do it that way. So yeah, general housekeeping before we get into it and pull up the AnyList page and all that. This is going to be the first season where I actually do picture-in-picture reactions for every single show. So that means all 28 of these shows, depending on how many I continue, will have picture-in-picture reactions available on Patreon. That you have to subscribe to the base tier, which is, what was it, £4 a month, or was it $4.50 a month? I'm fairly certain I set it at £4 a month, right? It would help if I actually knew my own tiers, wouldn't it? But I think it's £4 a month. Public page. Yes, £4 a month is the base tier. That gives you access to every single picture-in-picture reaction as it comes out, which will be a little earlier than when the reactions come live on YouTube. So if you see the reaction on YouTube, it's already out on Patreon. I would recommend maybe turning off email notifications for them, because you'll probably be spammed with 3 or 4 emails a day. So if that bothers you, I would make sure you turn those off. But otherwise, just let them rip, and depending on how many shows you're watching, maybe you're going to be watching as many shows as me. I don't know. It's all up to you guys. But yeah, they'll all be on Patreon for the first time this season. We have continuing shows. We have 2 continuing shows in the form of Higurashi and Jujutsu Kaisen. I will show you where they intertwine back into the current season. We also have 2 Patreon request series, which is the top tier of Patreon. World Trigger, and the other one was School Live, I believe. There was a recently new addition to the lineup. I don't quite know where they're going in yet. I initially said Tuesday, and that was looking good because I kind of messed up, and I thought Tuesday was an empty day. It's not an empty day. This season is very evenly spread out amongst the entire season, so I might be able to slot one in on Tuesday, another might go in on Wednesday. I'm not quite certain. It depends on what I drop. So I will still try and get at least 1 episode a week out. For World Trigger, I'm going to try and get 2 just because it's a long show, but we'll see. But as shows get dropped, I may move them around just to fit in a bit better as well. Just so I can keep my schedule a bit more functional, because I don't want to really have 6 videos a day. 5 a day is already quite a lot. I'd rather not push it to 6 on any one day, so I'll mix it around there, and I'll let you guys know what's happening with those in future. And then, what else do I need to mention? The one last thing. When I talk about these shows, the dates I'm referring to here are going to be the dates that the reactions come out. So, for example, we are starting here with the Tuesday reactions. We're going to start with Monday, but the season starts officially on a Tuesday, which means that those are the shows that start on Monday, if you get what I mean. My reactions are always the day after the show comes out, or at least is planned to. So that's how it's going to work out. So whenever I say a Monday show, as is the case here, these shows are actually airing on a Sunday, but my reactions come out on a Monday, and that's how I'm ordering this. So if you're looking for this just to find what shows to watch, just remember they're a day before what I say here in this one, just so we're all aware. So, without further ado, let's get into the beginning of it. So, AnyList up. This is the first show of Mondays that will be coming out, or at least depending on how Crunchyroll and Funimation and such schedule them. This is the order that they officially air in Japan, at least, or is supposed to be. I'm trusting AniList here a lot. So this is Komonoji Hen. When a series of animal bodies that rot away after a single night begin appearing in a remote mountain village, Inugami, a detective from Tokyo who specializes in the occult, is called to investigate. So I'm getting kind of like Inspector-ish vibes here, except that the main character is not necessarily involved straight away. While working the case, he befriends a strange boy who works in the field every day instead of going to school. Shunned by his peers and nicknamed Dorotabo, after a yokai that lives in the mud, he helps Inugami uncover the truth behind the killings. But supernatural forces are at work, and while Dorotabo is just a nickname, it might not be the only thing about the boy that isn't human. So, Inugami detective befriends a yokai of sorts. So yeah, I'm getting Inspector-ish vibes to this. I'm not quite sure what more to make of it beyond that. This is by Studio Agiado, which I don't think I've ever heard of. Have I ever watched anything? They did oh, okay. Never mind. I have heard of them. I've watched a fair few of your works. Okay, they did Ascendance of Bookworm. They've done Kakushigoto, Original Demon Lords. Okay, fair enough. I am acquainted with this studio. I just don't remember the name at all. Yeah, I'm acquainted with this studio and their more recent works. I mean, if it's anything like any of these shows, it's going to look just fine. Like, it's not going to look bad at all. Action-wise, I don't... Action, if they go super hard on the action, might be a bit of a disappointment, but Demon Lord didn't have... Actually, wait, Demon Lord had pretty good action scenes, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to think back to that show. It's been a while. Season 2 of that is coming eventually, but different studio. That had decent action scenes, so the action in this might be okay. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling Inspector-ish vibes to it, just maybe it'll pull it off a little bit better in terms of its initial pacing, because that was always my problem with the original Inspector. Just the pacing of its adaptation did not work. It felt like they were just copying the source adaptation, which is fine. It's fine for written media, but for anime, it just dragged on and on and on, and just kind of became too dialogue heavy to the point of the dialogue didn't even mean that much by the end of it. Like dialogue heavy shows like Monogatari series, for example, they work fine because there's a lot of clever wordplays and such going on and references, but Inspector didn't really achieve that. But this one, nicknamed Monster Instance, I mean, it very much sounds like an Inspector type show, so I'm looking forward to it. Urban fantasy, animals, shonen, yeah. Looks like we've got a bunch of different yokai to meet. No names immediately. Well, I think I might recognize some of those names, but no one immediately stands out. Yeah, looking forward to it. Another yokai show. Always keen to learn more about yokai, because fascinating subject, really, and it's very common, I'll admit. Like, there's usually a show that talks about yokai every season or two. But hey, there's a lot of variety there, so why the hell not? She looks kind of cute. I like this art style, kind of. So should be a good one to go. Next up, Idly Pride. First idol show. Here we go. So yeah, to become an idol, I shed blood, sweat, and tears. Even so, I push on. I want to shine. I want to earn it. I want to become number one. Very driven. I want to smile. I want to make my dreams come true. I want to look back at a sea of people. I want to be noticed. I want to find it. I want to overcome obstacles. I have only pride inside my chest. Jesus Christ, a lot of I want. No one is in the spotlight from the beginning. Everyone is weak. Only those who do not break will reach the highest peak to become an idol. Story of idols who face big dreams and harsh reality. So yeah, idol show. 3 main girls there. Looks like there's going to be quite a few though. How many mains are there? I mean, it's listed as 11 main characters. Don't know how accurate that's going to be. But 11 mains, a group of 11? I don't know if this is an idol group, or if this is a bunch of different idol units. Not quite immediately obvious. Judging by the fact that the cover is these 3, I'm going to guess this is the main group. Probably. Who knows? Or this is the leader of each group. Maybe leaders are more likely. They are in slightly differing outfits. But then again, idols often show up in different outfits, even for a group performance. Hard to tell. But this is by CA Animation. Do I know anything? Oh, they did. Oh, okay. Okay. Again, this is one of those newer studios that I'm just like, I have no idea who you are. Oh, I know immediately who you are. They did Mr. Love's Queen's Choice. Okay. Well, this was a good show. I very much enjoyed this. Very much a surprise of the season. I did not expect to like it. But does that translate well into an idol show? How is the animation going to be? And also, it's Studio Lurch anyway. So Hanako-kun. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. But it's same producers. But yeah, Hanako-kun. I mean, it might look good based on that. Anything else? Okay, yeah, it's a Studio Lurch production. Therefore, it's going to look fine. It's going to look fine. The problem for this show, probably, and what will be contentious for a lot of people, how heavy are they going to be on CG usage for the dance scenes, and how good is the quality of that CG? That might be a bit of an issue for some people. I can look past, obviously, the CG, but I want there to be some good dance scenes in it. I want the music to be good, because it's an idol anime. I have to enjoy the music if I'm going to continue watching it. And I want to know if they get a good blend of slice of life and idol. That's kind of where I'm resting on this one. Quite a big cast. I don't think I recognize any of these names, although they're probably all unique and hired for this. I don't know if this is a multimedia project or not, like Lapis Relights was, but it's completely original production. They have a manga that is, I guess... Oh, released beforehand. Okay, so there's a bit of a... Project Idly Pride, okay, it's going to be a multimedia project. I think like every idol show now is a multimedia project in some way, so fair dues. Next up, we have Jobless Reincarnation. When a 34-year-old underachiever gets run over by a bus, his story doesn't end there. Reincarnated in a new world as an infant, Rudy will seize every opportunity to live the life he's always wanted. Armed with new friends, some freshly acquired magical abilities, and the courage to do the things he's always dreamed of, he's embarking on an epic adventure with all of his past experience intact. Okay, apparently this was pre-screened already. 2 episodes pre-screened, wow. But that's not a matter, we're not going to be able to see that just yet. Yeah, it looks okay. Elf character, magic, everything, yeah. Names? I feel like I recognize Morikawa, but can't tell off the top of my head. This is by Studio Bind. What did you do? You've done nothing. Nothing that I've seen. Oh. Interesting. It's already got a part 2. Very, very interesting. Okay, so it's a split core show. Good to know. That's very helpful information. I did not realize that. So this is going to be a split core show. I assume 12 or 11 or 13, something along those lines, and then the next half probably... Let's think here. Yeah, probably a season after, so I guess we pick this one back up in the summer, if I had to guess. Unless they split core it even longer, but I don't think they will if they've announced it this early. Got manga and light novel projects, adventure drama fantasy, coming of age, isekai, yeah. It's like a lot of spoiler tags, okay. Something tells me this might not be the happy-go-lucky isekai that often gets shown. Something tells me this might have a bit of a darker side to it. It's going to depend on what we think of our main character, though. Rudy. Rudeus, I guess, is his actual name. Yeah, I mean, isekai plot. What more do you want me to say? But it looks like it might have a darker side to it. In which case, this could be interesting. And yeah, Studio Binds, like I said, I have no reference for what they look like. This is like their first actual anime production by those things. Like these are just one-off net animations. That was a PV. So I have no basis for what they're doing. This is Eggfirm producers. I mean, they've been producers on some big stuff recently, so okay, producers are sound, but no reference on studio. So this could be This could be a really interesting isekai that tries to do something different, or it could be another edgy isekai that tries to do something, but really it doesn't do much of anything, and it just falls into the standard bog traps of isekai. Either or, but I guess we'll give it a go. And then finally on Mondays we have X-Arm. In the year 2014, a high school student who hates machines, Kira Natsume, wants to change himself for the better and tries to take the first step in doing that, but he gets run over by a truck. Okay, so is this an isekai? I don't know. Fast forward to 2030. Okay, future plot. A police officer named Minami Uezono and her partner, the android Alma, okay, androids, infiltrate the scene of a trade going on at a Tokyo harbor for an unknown weapon named X-Arm. They are then attacked by an enemy armed with the X-Arm number 8. Put in this life or death situation, they decide to activate the X-Arm number 0 that they stole from the enemy, and what? I'm going to guess that this Akira is probably X-Arm 0. I'm going to guess. Like, if he's the main character and he's dead by truck, and then all of a sudden they activate something, I'm going to guess he's probably X-Arm 0. How that works, I have absolutely no idea, but let's just go with it, alright? So this is action ecchi. Okay. It's a full CG. This is a full CG production. Okay. Now, before anyone freaks out, full CG doesn't mean it's going to be bad right off the bat. Okay, let's just clear that one out of the bat immediately. Full CG does not mean bad. Look at Land of the Illustrious. That was a very, very, very good full CG production. Now, this is by Visual Flight. What have they done in the past? This is going to matter. This is a completely new studio. Oh God, help. This is produced by Crunchyroll as well. Okay. This is based off a finished manga as well. Only ran... Okay, so it's a fairly self-contained story. It's not the biggest story. It wasn't very well rated. Similar to Ghost in the Shell, no one's like, okay, fair enough. Is that... Yeah, that's Alita, okay. Full CG, guns please, gender bending, yeah. This is going to be interesting. This might be one of the more interesting ones and potentially dropless, just because it has a lot of death flags. Brand new studio doing full CG. That's an iffy one. Produced by Crunchyroll. I love you, Crunchyroll, but you don't have the best... You're not the best producers out there, let's just put it that way. Ecchi tag. It's got a lot of death flags for me that might end up killing it for me. Karikito, though. What were you in? You were in something that I remember you from. What are you from? You're Adachi Tsukasa, yeah. So, and Kotoko, yeah. Okay, that's why I remember you. So, yeah. They've got a good lead in Alma as X-Arm, 8? No, that's not the X-Arm. Alma is the android partner, okay. Android partner could be fun. I'm slightly worried about the ecchi tag there, but ecchi tag in full CG? When was the last time I had a full CG production that had ecchi in it? I don't know. That could be interesting. But yeah, I'm very skeptical about this one, but cautiously optimistic. This could be something incredible. We don't know. It's not going to be. But you don't know. That's the beauty of something like this. But mark this down now. Possibly an early drop from me to ease up the Monday load. Because of all the 4 shows there, this is probably on the bottom of the list. Just because of... It's got a lot of things that could be a problem. So we'll see. But that's Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday. So moving on to Tuesday, this is the start of the season. Right here. This is the actual start of the season. First show that will be coming out on Tuesdays for the channel. This is how we start. So this is Alice in Deadly's school. You and Nobu are practicing Manzai, 2-person comedy act, on the roof of the school. At the same time, the school building is overflowing with the presence of non-human something else. Zombies. It is said that if a person dies after being bitten by one of them, it will turn into the same something else and attack people. Zombies. In the chaos of the school, will you, Nobu, and the other surviving students be able to escape from its evil hands? Okay, so it's a zombie-type deal, I guess. zombies, but not being called zombies because you can't say the word zombies. Zombie. Gore tag, interestingly. And yeah, immediately, people have been comparing this to School Live, which is one of the reaction requests that will maybe be going in this slot. It'd be kind of coincidental that it ends up in the same slot as something that is like a almost like same type of show. Supernatural thriller. It looks like the idea of this being a zombie show might be like the surprise end of episode 1, just based on the way they've done this cover art here. This is by Hoods Entertainment, who have done stuff that I've watched in the form of Real Girl. So I am aware of what they've done. So it will look okay. Not going to expect anything special, but it'll look okay. It's not really anything terrible about it. It also has this other thing called Gekidol or Gekidol. I'm not quite sure which one you're meant to pronounce it with. We'll get onto that on the Wednesday section, because that's when it actually comes out. But yeah, I mean, zombie animes with zombies. I don't think I've seen a zombie anime in a long time. I don't know if I've actually seen one now that I think about it. Definitely not on the channel. We haven't done a zombie thing, really. There was an episode of Dorohedro that had zombies in it, alright? But an actual show focused on that, we haven't. So, this could be interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, just because it has this other part that's coming with it that I don't understand. So, I guess we'll let it play out and see what happens. But, could be interesting. Main cast look generic. Well, not generic. They've got various different outfits and stuff, but the faces look less said the better. Next up, suppose a kid from the last Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town. Story follows Lloyd, great name, budding adventurer who just wants to get stronger. His plan: head to the capital and discover his true power, even though he grew up being considered a weakling. So Lloyd heads out from his hometown, which interestingly exists directly next to the most dangerous dungeon. Oh, okay. Sure. He might not think of himself as strong, but he'll soon learn that there's even more of a difference between him and other starting adventurers. You know, because he grew up next to a deadly dungeon. He's much stronger than he realizes. Okay, so yes, so he's an OP main protagonist. It's going to be an OP MC type show with magic and stuff. Looks like we've got an adventuring party and stuff here. Sure, yeah, interesting adventuring party. Not isekai, though. So it's not an isekai show, but it is a fantasy adventure type thing. Emergency services going past. This is by Leiden Films, who have done a bunch of stuff, let's be real. I've watched a bunch of their stuff. So I've watched Hanabado, I've watched Classic Records. I was going to watch Woodpecker Detective, but then there was a bit of an issue. So I'm slightly cautious about their shows, just because I've had issues with them in the past on copyright things, although they can't really copyright strike any of my videos. There's nothing to strike, so... But they've done a lot of stuff. They also did Love and Lies OVA. Have I not marked the actual... I never marked the show off for some reason. I need to remember to do that later. But I have actually seen that. But yeah, they've done a bunch of stuff. We're going to be watching a lot of their stuff this season. I think they've got 4 shows this season we're watching. 2 Cells at Work and something else I forgot. I was just up there for a second though. Yeah, standard fantasy adventure with an adventuring party. Gonna meet some characters. OPMC. Fairly self-explanatory. At least they've given him a decent reason for him potentially having an OP start. And it does say an OP start, because he's only just starting to become an adventurer. So maybe he's not going to be OP throughout the entire thing. Although I kind of doubt that, because he's from the last dungeon, therefore he's survived again, where he would in theory be able to survive against the worst that this world has to offer. So, yeah, OPMC, basically. But could be interesting. Line Films have good animation quality, not going to complain too much, so should turn out alright. And then finally, we have Other Side Picnic. Moments from Death, Sorowo is saved by the mysterious Toriko in the Other Side. Attracted to its beauty, she soon discovers that this dimension is inhabited by monsters once thought imaginary. Maybe more yokai. Joining with Toriko in her search for a missing friend, they set out to explore this nightmare realm and maybe make a little muddy. What they encounter could bring enlightenment or drive them mad. Interesting premise. Not quite sure what to really think of this. There's Yumiri again. Adventure, fantasy, mystery, sci-fi, mythology. It's got the Yuri tag. Now, what actually is the Yuri? Like, it's very obvious to see where the Yuri could be interpreted. I want to know if that's just because people want there to be Yuri, or because that's actually specifically part of the show, that there is an attachment there that is played with. That would be interesting to see. But yeah, it seems like a very interesting premise. I'm curious about this world that they're going to. I'm curious what they're going to be up against. I assume yokai type stuff. It's tag mythology, so maybe. But it might be going somewhere else entirely. I don't quite know. But again, this is Legend Films, so we're definitely watching something again with them. It actually makes it, so 4 things. It was also Felix Film, who worked on Necropara, interestingly. Interesting that they've teamed up with them for that. I don't quite know how that works, but I'm going to guess that maybe... I'm going to guess Felix Film is either doing something very specific, such as maybe they're animating purely the monsters and such that they're fighting, or they were involved in the OP creation or something like that. That's where I imagine that will be a co-studio sort of production thing. That's how I imagine it's probably ended up being. But yeah, this one's going to very much depend on the world they build and these 2 main characters. How strong are these main character leads going to be? Because if you have a good pair here that play well off each other, because that's what, what was that series that I watched, the 3-parter? Burn the Witch. Burn the Witch had a good pair of characters that played well off each other in a quite interesting world. If this can capture that same sort of energy, this will be great, and I'll be very excited to watch this. Beyond that, though, it looks interesting. I don't know why Fragtime is being brought up here of all places. I guess there's a link somewhere, but could be interesting. And that wraps up Tuesdays. So now let's move on to Wednesdays. So Wednesdays we have, again, another 3 shows. So Gekidol, or Gekidol, I'm not quite sure how you say it. This is that weird, other related thing to Alice in Deadly School. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be. So 5 years after a mystifying disaster decimates cities across the globe, which I assume is meant to be the events of Alice in Deadly School, but I really don't know, Seria Marino receives an invitation from a mysterious woman to join Alice in theatre. I mean, come on. A small stage troupe that will take it upon themselves to brighten the world through their performances using 3D hologram technology. As Seria settles in, she begins to uncover unexpected truths about herself and the world around her. So I don't quite know how this is playing off Alice in Deadly School. I don't quite know how that link's going to work. If you're watching Alice in Deadly School, is it then worth to watch Gekidol? I'm going to call it Gekidol, it's easier to say. Is it then worth watching, or do you need to watch Alice in Deadly School to truly get Gekidol? I'm not quite sure the relationship of them. I assume they're set in the same universe. This one's obviously, I assume, 5 years after this one. But I don't know how well linked they are, or if they are linked in any way other than they're just in the same world. It's just a very weird premise. I've never had to encounter something like this before, where 2 shows exist in the same world and are having the same... I'm talking about similar events, but separately at the same time. It's just a weird premise to be in. But hey, they got Hanazawa, so good on them. Drama sci-fi. Interestingly, not tagged as an idol anime. I mean, it is here, but it's not one of its main music genres. It's drama sci-fi. So, kind of curious how that's going. Hertz Entertainment, they're doing the Alice in Deadly School, so it's going to just be airing a day after the other one. I'm very curious as to what this whole project is, because it just seems very odd. I can't find much information about this either, so I don't know what this is meant to be. I really don't, so it's going to be interesting to see what it actually ends up being, but I have no frame of reference for this. If this is going to be idly based, hopefully the music's good. If it's going to be actually plot driven, I wonder if it's going to play off of Alice in Deadly School, or if it's going to be its own separate thing, or how that's going to work, I don't know. But I'm intrigued more than anything at what this might end up doing. Next up, Reincarnated Slime Season 2. I mean, yes. I mean, I love this show. Look at this visual. Look at all my boys. I love them. I just love everyone. So yeah, second season of Slime. Now Jura Tempest Alliance is growing even further. They will now be meeting the animal kingdom of Eurazania, reuniting with King Garzel, rising tensions between monsters, humans, and Rimmer encountering the strongest enemy he's ever faced. Yes, he's actually going to be coming across probably an enemy more than anything. I'm so happy to have this back. I want to know more about what's happening with Veldora, if he's ever going to be able to get out of his imprisonment that Rimuru swallowed or not. But I don't really need to talk much more about this, right? Do I need to discuss more of this? Like, if you're watching this, you've seen Season 1, you know if you're watching Season 2, alright? So, yeah. Very excited for Season 2. It's just going to be more of the same, probably, and a new plot, and it looks like that's a new character there. Possibly our new antagonist, or possibly a new person that we're meeting with, maybe in Eurazania, I don't know. But yeah, just look at them. Squad photo. Love it. Yeah, I'm so happy to be back into this world. I need to have a bit of a refresher on Season 1. A lot of these sequels I need to have a bit of a refresher on, just so it's fresh in my memory, all the events of the last time. I won't have time to watch the entire thing again. I've given up on that idea. So I'll just get a quick refresher on main events and main story arcs, and then that should be good enough to head into Season 2 with. At least I hope so. But yeah, very excited for this one. And then finally on the list, we have Wonder Egg Priority. I have no idea what the fuck this is. This is the story of Ai, an introverted girl whose fate is forever changed when she acquires a mysterious Wonder Egg from a deserted arcade. I mean, it's already bizarre. That night, her dreams blend into reality, and as other girls obtain their own Wonder Eggs, Ai discovers new friends and the magic within herself. I have no goddamn clue what the hell this is going to be. Absolutely no idea. There's like no tags either. This is a complete mystery to me. But we've got our main group of 4 characters, all having dreams blending into reality. I see a Ferris wheel there, I think. Something with T. I don't know if there's actually a person there. Is there a person there? No, I think that's a lamp. I think that's a lamp on a chair? Something like that. But, yeah, this is a weird one. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. This is by Studio Cloverworks, so it's going to look good. They're also obviously doing Promised Neverland and Horimiya this season. They did Detective last year, or this year technically. Dream Girl, like they've done a bunch of really, really good looking stuff. Frank's Persona 5, so it's gonna look great. It's Cloverworks. It's gonna look great, and with Aniplex as producers, this feels like it could be a very, very good story. I mean, Ai just looks adorable. This looks like it's going to be a journey of sorts. I don't know if the magic within herself is meant to be like literal magic or what. I mean, it's dreams, right? Dreams blend into reality. So something along those lines is going to happen. But this could be a very, very interesting journey. And without any tags, I have no idea what direction they're going. Is this going to be a fun, happy-go-lucky journey? Is this going to be a journey with setbacks? Like, I really don't know what to expect. So, this could be a surprise of the season, because so little is known about it that there's no expectation for it. And it's a completely original work as well. So, absolutely no expectations. No one knows exactly what this is going to be, except the people who've already made it. So, yeah, check back in a while, because this might be a surprise of the season. And honestly, depending how they play this could be another one of the emotional posters that end up going on my wall. We'll see, but I'm still waiting for that first show to make me emotional on this, like truly, truly emotional to the point of tears on this channel, because some have got close, but they haven't managed it yet. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let's move on to Thursday now, shall we? So kicking off the Thursday lineup, I mean, part 2 of ReZero. I don't need to explain anymore. We've watched part one here on the channel. We're going to go into part two. It's kind of a weird middle point to end on last time, I think, if I remember correctly. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see where this one goes. I like the image of Subaru punching through all this. We have a bunch of issues still to fix. Obviously, Rem is still her name and something else was eaten. So we still need to get that back. We still have obviously Satella to deal with. We've got Elsa to deal with. The bunnies and Roswell and all that going on still. There's Melee, and yeah, this whole thing's a mess, and we're getting closer to being able to solve it. Slightly closer to being able to solve it. So we're going to just jump straight back into where we were. I'm probably going to, since this is a sequel that's continuing and I have the original footage still, I will probably end up doing picture-in-picture versions of the first part as well, just so that's ready for part two when this kicks off in a week's time, just over a week's time. So I'll probably backdate those just so we have picture-in-picture versions of the entirety of Season 2, not just Part 2 of Season 2 going forward. So watch this space for when I eventually get around to doing those. Next up, Hortensia's Saga. When the Duke of Hortensia murdered the king, he unleashed a wave of chaos that spilled the blood of many. Brazenly building his kingdom on the ashes of the old one, his violent rule has left many orphans in its wake. Okay, interesting. But now the king's heir has come of age. Living in secret as a man, she's remained safe, and the time has come to gather eyes to take back what is hers, both country and throne. Okay, interesting. Main character, I assume, being female is a nice change. The heir to the throne being a female is as well a nice change. However, immediately, the main boy, front and center, oh god, could you get more generic? Like, I'm sorry, but can you get more generic of a main male lead? Jesus Christ. I love your armor suit. It reminds me of Momonga from Overlord. Weird, familiar, okay. Yeah. This art style looks, unfortunately, kind of generic. Who actually is doing the art of this? Oh, it's Leiden Films. So this might look alright in the end. My boy Kenjiro Suda's in it, so Maurice Baudelaire, I am looking forward to your introduction, because my man, essentially. Magic, Seinen, yeah. Fantasy, I mean, yeah, it's a typical fantasy story. I don't know how good it's going to be. I mean, the main character being this female could end up being better overall for the show. This Alfred character, though, good god, you look generic. Yeah, it could be a very interesting fantasy story. I guess they're going the serious route with it, just based on the art style and the premise. I don't think they're going to go lighthearted. At least I hope they don't. But this is from a video game, apparently. So apparently this exists as a game. If anyone has any information on the game and what it was like, please let me know, I guess. But this is probably... yeah, of these three shows, with the third one coming up, this is probably the one that's likely on a drop list. We'll see what it does, if it does anything unique with the fantasy story or not, but we'll see in future. But finally, we have Redo of Healer. In a dark world of monsters, adventurers, and mages, some of the most gifted healers are subjugated to brute force even by the hands of their compatriots. But one mage, Kyle, gains the ability to rewind time, turn the tables, and right all wrongs. Interesting idea. Apparently this is a CGI production. Or at least it has CGI prominently featured in it. I don't know why. Anti-hero, so I'm guessing this guy... as far as I am expecting, I'm expecting this to have a bit of a darker side. I mean, that thread title alone says something. So, whatever. It's an ecchi fantasy. That might lead... That's an interesting combination. Ecchi, potential dark undertones, bullying, revenge. I can see maybe why that's... we'll see. I think this is going to be one that you have to experience and see what you think, but, I mean... look at the light art cover. I mean... yeah. That probably says enough of what you really need of it. So this might, honestly, I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy this one. We'll see how it does. But this is by Studio TNK. Give me that. The Jet Girls. Okay. Seven Mortal Sins. High School DxD, of course. Have I actually watched anything from you? No. I have not watched a single TNK production before. But they did High School DxD, so I kind of have an expectation of it anyway. Well, they also did School Days. Wonderful. Yeah, I have an expectation for this already. I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I mean, this looks kind of lighthearted, but I don't think it's lighthearted. I mean, nothing about this seems to scream lighthearted to me, so I guess we'll see, but this could be something. I think is the best way I can put it, but right now, I'm expecting a darker story, and I'm expecting it to go in a direction that maybe I don't want to watch. Potentially. We'll see, though. It might end up that Thursdays end up being the empty day if both this and Hortensia turn me off, so maybe this is where the new stuff will go, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyway, let's move on to Friday. Moving on to Fridays, and this is sequel day. Straight up, this is sequel day, and you'll see why as we go through this. Starting off with Laid Back Camp Season 2, or Eurocamp Season 2, repping the Eurocamp right now. I'm so happy for this. I'm really, really, really so happy for this. Depending on how this season ends up being scheduled for today, this might either be like the first show that I watch from the day, or it might be the last. Just because I'll either want to ease off nice and gently into the day, or relax at the end of the day with a nice hot chocolate or something like that. Because this is the show that's just going to be so relaxing, and I'm just so happy to have this back. It was such a good vibe, and it's just... I love it. I love it so much. If anyone hates on this show, then you are wrong. Just, period. You're wrong if you hate the show. You just are. This is such a comfy and relaxing and chill and feel-good show. You cannot hate this. And if it's just going to be more of the same of last season, I'm happy, and I'm very, very excited to have more of it. Next up, we have Heaven's Design Team. This is the one new show from today. All the rest are sequels. So Heaven's Design Team. In Heaven's Animal Design Department, yes, designers create a variety of new animals daily while contending with the unreasonable requests of their client, God. God is that one client that you just get annoyed with every time. Okay, funny, interesting, and fully useful information. This series answers questions such as, why can't unicorns exist? Okay. What makes an animal taste delicious? I suppose there is a science to that. What's the most powerful creature in the ocean? And bird versus snake, who would win? The bird. It flies away. It's one. Right? Although, well, it depends on which bird and which snake. Like, if you're talking like a puny little grass snake versus like a bald eagle's gonna win. But if you're talking like some of the most dangerous snakes in the world versus like a sparrow, the snake's gonna win. So that's gonna be interesting. You won't believe it's a manga series when you read up on the featured animals in the included encyclopedia entries. Heaven's Design Team will make your next trip to the zoo or aquarium 100 times more fun. So this feels like an educational type show, like an edutainment type deal. Yeah, educational animals. It says dinosaurs, so hell yeah, let's talk about some dinosaurs. I'm happy with that. The main guy actually looks kind of interesting. I quite like his design. Obviously, I like her design. This is by Asahi Production. Have I ever watched anything from you? Doesn't look like it. Have I watched anything? Nope. First experience of Asahi Production, then. That looks very interesting. I want to watch that. Wave. Don't know gonna be yet. Yep, no experience with any of this stuff. Don't even recognize any names. Yeah, don't recognize any names here at all. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be our first experience with Asahi Production. Very interesting premise. I mean, if you're an animal lover, this could be something interesting. If you're like wildlife and stuff, this could be very informational. I'm excited. I mean, comedy, fantasy, slice of life. This looks like it'd be fun. This looks like it could be a good laugh. I don't know how good it's going to be, but this looks like it could be a good laugh. I mean, what if questions are always fun. Like, matchups between different animals, learning animal facts. That's fun. I mean, to an extent, Satan Academy did that, with the way it designed its characters based on the animals they're based off, and how their personality traits were influenced by the habits and environments that the animals grew up. So, this is being a bit more like, these are actual animals here that we're talking about, rather than Satan Academy having personification of animals, but still edutainment, and this could be a lot of fun. This could be a lot of fun, and I like animals, so this, I don't really see any reason why I would hate this. So, yeah, looking forward to it. The one new show today, and I'm quite looking forward to it. Okay, back to the sequels though, because that's all this day is. Promised Neverland Season 2. Oh boy, I am so curious as to what the hell is going on with this world. I'm so curious, and I feel like a lot of answers are going to be answered here as to what's going on outside of this world. Yeah, I'm just excited. Another Cloverworks production. Yes. I want to know what happened to Norman. What happened to Norman? Because I do not believe that he's actually dead. I believe they're using him for something else. That's my theory. Because otherwise, they could have killed him. But they didn't kill him on screen, they just showed him walking behind a door, and then the door closed. So, I want to know what happens to Norman. And I want to know where we're going, what our plan is, and so on. Yeah, I'm just excited for more Promised Neverland. I really am. So I can't really say much more about this. You know what you're watching. If you're watching Promised Neverland Season 2, you've seen Season 1, you know exactly why you're watching it. Next up, Quintuplets Season 2. Again, another show that I very much enjoy. No secret, Miku is my favourite, followed by Ichika. Main character's actually interesting. I quite like him. Yes, Matsuoka. I like a Matsuoka character, don't judge. Hanazawa, Minase. They've got a good voice cast here for this show. They really do. And yeah, this is going to be... It is a harem anime, and normally I'm not a big fan of them, especially in romance-type shows. But it works for this one. I don't know quite why it works for this one, but it does for me. It's like it's the exception to the rule for me. Normally, a comedy romance harem ends up being something that I dislike overall. But this is like the one exception in recent times, so I'm excited for this. I don't know how popular it's going to be. It's doing all right for itself, I suppose. I don't know how popular it's going to be on the channel, but I'm going to be enjoying it no matter what, so I'm happy with that. And then finally, the sequel that I'm very much excited for, Dr. Stone, The Stone Wars. Yeah, we're fighting against the Empire of Might. Kingdom of Silence versus the Empire of Might. We have a mobile phone, basically just working as a walkie-talkie, but still a mobile phone. I'm so happy. I've got my Senku figure over my shoulder. You can't quite see it, unfortunately, just because of the way this is set up. But yeah, Dr. Stone, very, very happy to get more of it. Very good isekai series, and good to have a continuation. See all these characters again. Hopefully meet some new ones. I'm going to guess we'll meet a lot of new ones on the Empire Might side. And then eventually maybe merge the two. Do they get rid of Tsukasa this early? I say this early, we're on Season 2. Do they try and kill him off, or do they keep him as a permanent threat throughout the show? Because without Tsukasa as a threat, technically they don't have anyone directly antagonistic towards them. Technically. Unless someone from this camp retreats and starts up a new one or something. I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting watch, and I'm very, very excited for this. Like I said, today, Fridays are the days of sequels, and I'm happy with that because I love every single one of these sequels. So I'm good with that. So let's move on to Saturday. which is going to be, what was that, 5 shows? Yes, 5 shows on Saturday. Oh, actually, I should say, just before we move on to Saturday, Higurashi is also here on the Friday, so that makes it a 6-show day, because we're continuing with Higurashi. Obviously, episode 14 starting up with this season after its 1-week break that we've just took. So Higurashi will be sliding back in on Fridays as per normal. So look forward to that as we move on to the 4th arc of whatever the hell this show ended up being. Very excited for that as well, but not going to do a special bit here. Just want to make sure. Yes, we're continuing Higurashi. It's going to be in the Friday slot alongside this. So busy Fridays, but hey, that's all and good. All right, now moving on to Saturday. So moving on to Saturdays, we have 4 new shows and 1 pre-existing show that we'll be talking about. First up here is So I'm a Spider, So What? I mean, okay, ridiculousness. I, the protagonist, was just an ordinary high school girl, but suddenly I was reincarnated as a spider monster in a fantasy world. Reincarnated as a slime vibes, obviously, but now we're a spider. Not only that, but I awakened in a dungeon filled with vicious monsters. Armed with only my human knowledge and my overwhelming positivity, I'm forced to use spiderwebs and traps to defeat far stronger monsters just to stay alive. So begins the labyrinth survival story of a girl with incredible mental strength living as one of the lowest ranked beasts. So yeah, reincarnated as a slime, but as a spider, potentially not OP. Potentially. We'll see what happens going forward with that one if it ends up being an OP MC type thing. Apparently it's got a fair bit of CGI, I assume, for the spider. I assume they're going to CGI that, maybe? I don't quite know just yet. Aoyuki as the spider, though, that's a decent choice. This is by Studio Milipensi and Exa. Have I watched anything for you guys? Nope. What have you done? A bunch of really... Okay. And then... Yeah, so... First thing I've ever seen from these studios. It looks alright, actually, to be fair. It does look alright. Seeing the adventuring party, but as spiders. Something about this is just so funny to me. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing reincarnated as a slime vibes out of this. It's a Crunchyroll produced show, so but yeah, this looks like it could be a laugh. We'll see actually how it ends up being, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a dumb premise, but dumb premises often have a lot of fun with it because they know they're being dumb. They're not trying to be super serious, and this is tagged as comedy, so it makes sense. It just looks ridiculous, and I'm quite excited for it because Slime looked ridiculous, and that turned out to be one of my favorites. So I'll give this a fair chance, obviously. Next up, we have bottom tier character Tomozaki. Expert gamer Tomozaki Fumiya doesn't exactly fit in, but he wishes he did. I mean, every gamer ever. With no written rules for success and gameplay that doesn't work in his favor, the real world seems impossible for someone like him. Tell me about it. But like any noob, all he really needs are some strategies and a seasoned player like Aoi Hinami to help him. Sure. Hopefully with her guidance, Tomozaki will gain the experience he needs. So, introverted gamer type, wants to try and become more social and enjoy life more with people around him. So he has a girl help him do that. Comedy romance, in a school. Yes, basically. Voice cast, yep, sure. So this is by Project Number 9, who we've definitely watched some stuff from. Definitely, right? Oh, yes. We unfortunately have. So my past experience with this studio, not the greatest. But, to be fair, this was just kind of a boring premise. This was very generic and didn't look great. This was just not my type of show. This is my type of show. All that being said, these shows looked alright. I didn't really have any problem with the way they looked. It's just everything else about the shows kind of sucked. This is more my type of show. So, I could get along with this. A rom-com? No ecchi tag. That's a big plus. This could be good. This looks genuinely like it could be something I enjoy. I quite like the character designs. He very much looks dead inside, but then again, who wouldn't be? Yeah. I like her. I assume that's Aoi. Yep, it is. Yeah. I enjoy a good rom-com. And it does look kind of good. I like the character designs. So, yes, I'm happy. Whilst I don't have the greatest experience with the studio, I'm not really going to complain too much because it's never been the looks that have been the problem. It's always been the premise. And this is one of my favorite types of premise rom-com. So, I'm very, very excited. A good romance story. That's kind of what I want every season, is a good romance story. So hopefully this can fulfill it. This is going to be the typical Japanese romance story of getting to fall in love with people, having those awkward situations, and then maybe, very, very maybe, having a love confession or kiss be the very last scene. So I'm not going to expect much in the way of romantic development beyond just being friends that are kind of like, do we, don't we? So I'm already expecting that. So if they do go beyond that, I'll be amazed and will be very supportive of it. But good rom-com, I'm never going to say no to. Next up, Back Arrow. I have no idea why I put this on the list. I just thought, why the hell not? So, Lingalind is enclosed by the Wall. Oh no, Trump did it. The Wall covers, protects, cultivates, and nurtures the land. I don't think he planned his one to do it. The Wall is God. Jesus Christ, this is a Trump campaign speech. One day in Edgar, oh boy, a village on the outskirts, a mysterious man named Back Arrow appears. This is already a dumb synopsis, I love it. Arrow has no memory. He claims that all he knows is that I came from outside the wall. He tries to go beyond the wall to regain his memories, but is pulled into one conflict after another. I have no idea what the fuck this is. I really don't know what the fuck this is. Like, is it mecha? Like, what is this? What am I looking at here? What are these character designs? Like, Jesus Christ. What is this show? It's not tagged with anything. It is tagged mecha, so it is a mecha anime. An original mecha anime. Action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi. Yeah. Voice cast. They got Sugita. Cool. Studio Voln? What have they done? They did that. Apparently this is meant to be really good, though. I should probably watch this. In fact, you know what? Here, let me add this to my plan to watch, because I've heard good things about this. It's highly rated. It's a romance movie. I kind of want to see what that is. So I'm going to plan to watch that at some point. But this is my first experience with this studio otherwise. I have no idea what the fuck this is. This looks like it could be another Listeners to me. So I'm heavily expecting this to be on the drop list. Especially with 5 shows a day. This is very likely to be on the drop list. So I guess we'll see. But I kind of want to give it a chance just to see what the hell it's going to be. Because it just seems weird. And just this alone is weird. Just that one bit of the synopsis. So we'll give it a chance. But other than that, I don't expect much of it. Next up, the final new show of the day. Hidden Dungeon, Only I Can Enter. I need to have a quick drink because my voice is going pretty quick. I have been recording for over an hour now, so that's to be expected, but... Anyway, Hidden Dungeon. Hidden Dungeon is a place of legend where rare treasures and items are hidden. Noir, the first son of an impoverished noble family who's lost the one job offer he had, was lucky enough to hear about this dungeon. He then acquires a skill that allows him to create, bestow, and edit skills. Holy shit. That's powerful. And in order to use it, he needs to accumulate points by carrying out such tasks as eating delicious meals and doing sexual things with alluring members of the... Okay, let me guess. Ecchi tag? Ecchi tag. Haramechi. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, maybe this is going to be on the drop list as well. Produced by DMM, really? DMM Music? Okay. Special training in the secret... Oh boy. I mean, can you get any more generic male either? Like, Jesus Christ. Is that an elf girl? That is an elf girl. Well, I know who my favourite is immediately. Oh god. So this is by Studio... How do you even say that? Okuruto Noboru? They're working on the new How Not to Summon a Demon Lord? That's not true, is it? They're working with Tezuka. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I have no experience with them. No experience with them whatsoever. So I can't say anything about their quality. I mean, that line alone kind of seals its fate for me a little bit, but we'll give it its fair chance. That's always the point. We give everything a fair chance to maybe not be what I think it is, but yeah, I don't know what to expect of this. Now, is this the show? I remember there is a show that has some really, really interesting promo art. I don't remember if this was the one or if it was another show entirely, but I remember a show with very interesting cover art, and I think it might have been this. Give me 2 seconds just to quickly look that up in case I'm being wrong. Okay, so it's not quite the same show I was thinking of, but I do remember seeing this promo image. You know, it's... I kind of want to know the context of this a little bit, but at the same time, I don't. I really don't. So yeah, I don't know what to expect of this show. I just don't. This could be something different, or it could just be really, really off-putting. I don't know. But of the shows, it, along with Back Arrow, it's probably on the drop list. I don't know if it's as low as Back Arrow. Back Arrow just looks bizarre. This looks like it could be just bad. I don't know. This and Back Arrow kind of riding the same line, so we'll see. But yeah, it's I mean, the hidden dungeon only I can enter, and he gets points by, yeah. You can see where this is going and see why this might be a little off-putting. But anyway, we'll give it a chance, like I said. And then finally, the only other thing I need to add is that also today, on Saturdays, Jujutsu Kaisen will be continuing on. It won't be continuing on until the... wait, what day does it continue on? That's a good question. What day does it continue on? The 16th. 16th is when it continues on, so quite a ways into the new season. But that will be coming back, and we'll be continuing on with the second half of that. New OP, new ED, hopefully, as well. So that'll be very, very interesting. That'll keep its same slot. And then finally, we now move on to Sunday. And finally, we move on to Sunday. 5 shows, and again, some sequels. Or 1 sequel and 1 spin-off, I guess. Cells at Work, Season 2. Yes, I'm so happy. It's going to be great to see Red Blood Cell, White Blood Cell, Killer T Cells, Platelets, Macrophage, the one that fights cancer, I forget your name. It's going to be so great to see all these. There's B Cell. Oh my god. I'm just so happy to have them back. I really, really am. And again, this is edutainment. This is another edutainment, and was so positively received. I just hope it continues on just as well. I did read somewhere that this is only going to be around 8 or 9 episodes, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be shorter than a typical 12-episode season, if I remember. I don't know if that's just because of Cells at Work Black, which, spoiler, is also airing today. But I don't know if it's just because of this, or if it's just because there wasn't as much to adapt. Not really sure which way they're going with that, but either way, Cells at Work and now Cells at Work Black, the darker alternative to it, quite literally, talking about, keeping the boy running, stress hormones yelling him to go faster, blood vessels are crusted over with cholesterol, ulcers, fatty liver, trouble downstairs, hard for a cell to keep working it when every day is a code black. So this is a body that is just constantly in trouble. And everyone's switched gender as well. So we've now got female white blood cell. We've got male red blood cell. There's the platelets. Look a bit more grown up this time. There's commanders. Everyone just looks a bit more grizzled, a bit more menacing. You can still see similar designs, but more menacing looking. Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be what happens in a body that's just isn't working, essentially, and it's going to be interesting to see how that does. And my boy Kenshiro Suda is the narrator. I'm happy. My boy is the narrator, and a darker alternative to Cells at Work, dealing with things that are real health issues. Yeah, I'm just happy for more Cells at Work. Seeing Code Black get an adaptation as well, more than happy with it. I have no idea how long this runs, if this is also running like 8 or 9, like the second season is. I don't quite know even know if that second season one is actually running for 8 or 9 episodes. I really don't know. I don't know much about all of that, but I'm just happy for more content, regardless of how long it is, so I'm very, very happy. Basically. Alright, moving on to new shows, we have Horimiya. Romance show, very happy. Do opposites attract? At school, Hori is a social butterfly, but her life at home is anything but perfect. Left to raise her brother, she's facing responsibilities that she's not ready for. Meanwhile, under a brooding facade, Miyamura hides a gentle heart along with piercings and tattoos. In a chance meeting, they both reveal a side they've never shown. Could this blossom into something new? Romance anime, I'm so happy. Cloverworks, we've already mentioned them so far. They're doing a lot this season. They're doing Neverland Season 2, Wonder Egg Priority, and this. Stuff we watched before, again, Millionaire Detective, Dreaming Girl, Persona 5, Darling Franks, etc. You get the idea. Well-established studio. Comedy, romance, slice of life. Hikakomori? Alright, Seeking Isolation. Got it. I'm very hyped for this one. Oh, excuse me. Still got a bit of a lingering cold. I'm very excited for this one. Not just because it's a romance anime with a large cast. That means multiple pairings more than likely. And therefore multiple romances going at once, which is great. But I was recommended this one and was they brought my attention to it by a friend who's excited for this one as well. So, yeah. It's not often that my friend recommends anime to me. So, the fact that she's recommended this one, that means something, really. And it's right up my street of rom-com, slice of life. I hope it's beyond more than the typical Japanese getting to romance point, and it also features actual like boyfriend-girlfriend scenes as well. I hope it goes that far. I mean, when you've got a large cast like this, I assume at least one of them is. So, yeah, I'm very, 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 very happy to have this show. I love a good romance. You guys know that. And this looks like it could be a really, really good one. So, very excited. Not really much more to say. Do I recognize any of the voice cast immediately? No. But I'm sure I'll recognize a voice here or there when we get down to it. Actually, since it's a large cast, Fukuyama I feel like I recognize, but other than that, I can... Daisuke. Yeah. I'm just super excited, and this could be a lot of fun, and I'm very excited for a romance show like this. Next up, Dr. Ramane, mysterious disease specialist. As long as hearts exist inside people, there will always be those who suffer. Damn right. And then something strange enters their mind and causes a strange disease to manifest itself in the body. The illness, which is called a mystery disease, imaginative, is unknown to most but certainly exists. There is a doctor and apprentice who fights the disease which modern medicine cannot cure. His name is Ramane. He acts freely all the time, is foul-mouthed, and doesn't even look like a doctor. Like it. However, once he's confronted with a mysterious disease, he is able to quickly uncover the root cause of the patient's deep-seated distress and cure them. And beyond that, another Crunchyroll one that ends like that, but whatever. Yeah, I like this. This one's going to be psychological, supernatural. It seems somewhat episodic in a way, in confronting different people's inner turmoil, essentially. Is kind of what I'm getting from it. So it feels like this could be somewhat episodic, but also have a grand narrative. Maybe they'll go into why this disease really manifests. If there's like an actual tangible cause to it, or if it's just because people are suffering. I don't know how plot heavy that's going to end up being, but psychological supernatural could be interesting. This is done by Platinum Vision, who have done some stuff. I mean, Sounds of Life is quite popular, but I don't think... I've never watched any of their other shows, so this is going to be my first experience with them. I quite like the designs. Like Dr. Ramane himself, I kind of like... The eyes are a bit weird. I'll be honest, the eyes are quite different to what I expect from typical anime style, but still looks good. Dude's got quite the muscle shape, it must be said. This looks interesting. And might be a feel-good show? Question mark? I don't know if it's going to be a feel-good show. It's definitely going to be... it's going to be an emotion-filled show, because you'll be dealing with people who are at their low points and helping to cure them of that. but I don't quite know exactly how that's going to end up. This is very interesting. I'm curious about it. I don't know if it's going to be anything super special, but I kind of like where they're going with it. I just kind of want to see what more they want to do. And then finally, the last show that we're going to be talking about is Skate the Infinity, skateboarding anime. Yay. Reki, a high school sophomore and skater, is addicted to S, a highly secret and dangerous downhill skateboarding race that takes place in an abandoned mine. Jesus, okay. The skaters are especially wild about the beefs or heated battles that are up to the races. So yeah, if you have a beef with someone, you have a bit of a rivalry almost that you do it. So yeah, it's rivalry is the best way to describe it. Reki takes Langa. I don't know. With Japan, it's hard to tell. A transfer student returning to Japan after studying abroad to the mine where the races are held. Langa, who has no skateboarding experience, finds herself pulled into the world of S. So we have a transfer student that is pulled into the world of skateboarding. I say the world of skateboarding. It's very much a certain type of skateboarding, but why not? Action sports, as expected. Skate the Infinity. This is by Studio Bones, who have got a lot of stuff lined up. I mean, My Hero, obviously. This movie I do want to watch eventually. I'll be keeping an eye out for when I can be able to watch this, because I want to. But yeah, My Hero Academia, obviously. Calendar Tuesday, which for some reason is not marked. I need to mark that as completed. No, remove the date. I don't know when I completed it, but I've definitely completed that show. I'll edit that later. Yeah, My Hero. Was there anything else other than My Hero in that I watched from them? Snow White the Red Hair, Gothic. So yeah, I'm well acquainted with the studio. So this is going to look good. I have no doubts this is going to look good. I wonder how the skateboarding animation is going to be. Like, how good is the actual animation of skateboarding going to be? That's my main concern. But with a decent cast, this could be fun. I don't think it's taking itself too seriously, at least with the designs that we're going for right now. I kind of like the decks that they've got, but yeah, skateboarding anime. Skateboarding anime. You don't see too many of them, so I'm interested. We'll see what it ends up being, but I can't say this is close to a drop list, because I'm genuinely quite interested to see how a skateboarding anime would work, and how they're going to interpret it and how it's going to look and everything like that. So I'm excited, and that, if I'm not mistaken, wraps up the entire Winter 2021 season. Oh god, that's a lot of shows. My voice is completely goddamn knackered. Like, oh boy, I can feel it, like, right here. It's getting raspy. But yeah, that's everything. So I do have 2 reaction shows that were requested by people on Patreon, like I said in the beginning. World Trigger and School Live. They'll be fitting in somewhere in that mess. Don't ask me where, because I don't have a clue. Honestly, the best chance might end up being Thursdays at this rate. Just because there's 2 shows there that I'm kind of skeptical of. Maybe Wednesdays as well. I'm kind of skeptical about Wednesday as well, but we'll see. The rest of the days seem pretty solid. Like, even if I drop a show or 2, I'll still have a solid amount on that day. So this looks like a very good season. Very, very good season. Now, I will probably be dropping some of these shows, so don't be surprised when I drop some of these. But a lot of these look good. I'm very, 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 very interested. And there's plenty of sequels, so I know I've got some good shows that I'm going to just hit the ground running with immediately. And a lot of these new ones have really interesting premises that I'm super curious about anyway, such as Cells at Work Black. Excuse me. And yeah, there's some good romance shows in there. There's some mystery type shows. There's yokai, there's idols, there's isekais, there's whatever the hell Wonder Egg's going to be. Whatever the hell X-Arm's going to be. Yeah, very varied and very interesting season, and hopefully there's something that you guys will be interested in as well. Was there really anything else I need to talk about? That's a good question, because I've been going long enough, my voice is shot. I think that's about it. Oh, figure update news, because as you guys know, if you look just over there, you can see Senku and Kotoko. They will soon be joined by 2 more in the next soon-ish. I think one of them, they've both been shipped from Japan and are on the way here. I believe one has already arrived here, but I don't think the other one has. So yeah, one has already arrived at the international hub of the UK and is here in the country. The other is on its way here as well, so they'll be going through customs very, very soon. So hopefully, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect around about next week somewhere, like later end of the week, I'll be getting some of them, so I'll be doing more unboxings of them. I will try and plan the unboxing a little bit better than the previous 2, and now that I've learnt my mistakes, and hopefully we can make it a bit of a better unboxing in general. I might have to draft in someone to help out with that, but whatever. Yeah, I'm excited for this season. It's a full year of anime reactions have gone past, and you guys have been absolutely amazing with your support. Hopefully now with the picture-in-picture reactions on Patreon going as well throughout the entirety of this season, hopefully that can help increase the channel growth. You guys have already blown me away with the channel growth after losing the channel in May and getting back up to 500 by the end of the year. And even going beyond that, it's been extraordinary, and I can't thank you all enough for that. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas. I hope you all enjoy New Year's as well, wherever you are. And I look forward to bringing you very, very soon, in fact, like a week away, with, yeah, the show start this Tuesday. Or not this Tuesday, next Tuesday, rather. Yeah, I hope you're excited for the new season, and let me know your thoughts on what new shows you're watching. Any of these ones that look very, very interesting, ones that you didn't expect, or anything like that, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe as well to see all these shows when they come out. You can also see my backlog of fall and summer shows, some of the spring shows as well that I've got up there that have survived the channel deletion, and obviously, yeah, future shows, because anime doesn't slow down for anybody. Like, even during coronavirus, we still have plenty of anime to watch. Series is just gonna keep on trucking, so hopefully there's something you enjoy this season. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.